Made sense. Yeah, it's time to go back down the rabbit hole for this Matrix Resurrections.
Deja vu. Deja vu all over again, to quote Boogie Bear.
Deja vu of awfulness per Reloaded and Revolutions.
Ooh, jeez. Right, with the spoilers, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Nightcap. What's up?
We are back. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Santa gave you guys everything that you were asking for.
Yep. I hope everyone got everything on their list. Had a nice Christmas. Stayed safe. Got to spend some time with the family, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's been a second since we've done a review, but we weren't going to miss this one. Yep. Matrix 4.
I wish we did.
Resurrections.
Wish we did, though.
Well, before we hop into our review, I think you can tell what I was thinking. If this is your first time watching the show here, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our grading system right now so you can follow along. We like to do a full numeric grading breakdown of the movies that we do, just to kind of give our thoughts on how we feel about the movie. So you guys can follow along there. And then also, too, I'll go ahead and put up our Instagram handle if you guys want to follow us along there. Keep up with the old social medias. And also, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But now that we got the house cleaning out the way, let's go ahead and hop into this movie, Al. It's been a long time. It's been a long time in the whole Matrix land.
It has, and it should have stayed there. Should have stayed in the past. That's what I'm saying.
But can't keep a good man down, I guess. Resurrections. I don't know. Well, let's get into this movie here. So, plot. What'd you think about this this new story that Lana Wachowski brought to us?
The plot. Well, it's pretty much just a rehash of the first Matrix, right? He's pretty much has to follow the White Rabbit again, down the rabbit hole, try to find himself. He's been in the deep sleep for, what did they, 60 years now?
Yep. Yeah.
60 years. And so it pretty much just follows the same plot of the first Matrix, just some tweaks in there. Obviously, Morpheus is dead. It's 60 years in the past. Pretty much everyone back in the old Matrix is dead. And there's this new crop of people trying to find Neo. They didn't really say why they were trying to find him, because everything was fine. Like, it wasn't like everything was ending or anything.
Was it though? Was it? It was. I feel like a kind of recurring theme is like that deja vu, right? And so here you find, Thomas Anderson. He's like you said, very much like the first movie. And some of the stuff they just match scene for scene, right? Constantly showing us little flashbacks.
Yeah.
And you see him, kind of trapped in this day-to-day kind of monotonous job. He's put out the game, The Matrix, and become successful, but he's knows that there's something else more. But to kind of get to the plot itself, to me, I got like reminiscent vibes of watching the latest Star Wars trilogy, where it was like, okay, I thought the Jedi won, right? I thought everything was said, but somehow we reverted, right? And everyone's back in the Matrix. And no one's happy, and everyone's trying to break out again. It's in the same way that Star Wars, all of a sudden, the dark side's taking control again. The Empire's back, and we're still in a revolutionary stance. So it just felt kind of lazy to me. Like I was kind of disappointed. Instead of kind of progressing the story, it felt like we had to take 2 steps back.
I was having such high hopes for this one because they're like, all right, I took the bullet time for you guys. I rewatched Reloaded and Revolutions just to prepare myself for this one, because I'm thinking Resurrections, they're gonna just do, right all the wrongs from Reloaded and Revolutions. And boy, howdy, was I wrong. They just kept on just piling poop on top of poop, guys. And I'm like, it's just bad, guys. It's just bad. Like I have tons of notes, but I didn't even want to take notes because I was about to tap out in the first hour of this movie, guys.
Oh man, say it in. Say it in.
I was ready. I was ready to text you. I'm like, hey man, you're on your own on this one, buddy. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Rich. Yeah, he had similar thoughts. I remember he told me halfway through it, he got bored as well. He started surfing. But then again, he does have a very low attention span. So it's not the most surprising thing I've ever heard. But yeah, no, it just so much of it, again, like I said, felt like, rehashed themes from the first movie, and it didn't feel like a progression. And like you said, if you're hoping that things would kind of, take a step in the maybe a better direction from the way that the last two movies were received, right? Revolutions and Reloaded. It doesn't do that. And I don't know. So overall for plot, I ended up giving it a 4. I really felt like it was just kind of a lazy story. And
you're generous today.
I didn't think it was
Christmas mood. Yeah. You're in the Christmas mood. I gave it a 3.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Okay. Yeah.
I give it a 3 because
we're just handing out coal today.
Cole and everybody's stocking in the Wachowski sisters stocking, all right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the first Matrix, but lazy. And there was literally they literally showed scenes from the first Matrix in the movie as part of the story.
I know. That's what killed me. I mean, how much of the like at least a quarter of the movie is flashbacks to the earlier movies.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what is this? Like, did we need to write this story? And a big part of the beginning, part 2, you hear like kind of Lana's voice through Neo's character, talking about the
first
success,
hour.
Success of the game, quote unquote, the Matrix, and people asking questions and being annoying and all this and that, and kind of trying to explore the philosophy of what it all means. You know what I mean? And it's just like, what is this? Like, I was like, is this meta Matrix? Like, what is this? Like,
oh, trust me. I was going to get into that in the directing. This movie was very meta. Like, I didn't think it was going to be this meta, but the entire over the first hour is the whole meta of like, we didn't want to make this, but we did.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt almost like for them, or for at least for Lana, like it was just like, okay, I'm gonna write another chapter just to kind of close this book for me. You know what I mean? Like to kind of put it to end or something. I don't know. I doubt that. I mean, who knows? They're probably doing another one eventually. Hopefully, with new characters or something. But yeah, I don't know. But let's transition into the plot. Or I'm sorry, into the production. What'd you give it in terms of production? Because I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts on this one too.
I gave it a 14, and I feel like I'm being very generous here. It looked okay. Like it wasn't like, low budget or anything, but they mentioned this on the movie itself too, how game changing the first Matrix was. I'll story time here. I was a young man, 18 years old, like my birthday. Me and my friends went to go watch it on my 18th birthday. My mind was blown. I was like, that was the only thing I could talk about for an entire week.
You must have been a lot of fun that week.
Right after the movie, we went to the strip club for the first time. Great birthday. All right, great birthday. Great 18th birthday. But I digress. So the first one, game changing, groundbreaking in terms of action. In this one, the action was very uninspired.
Yeah,
like and considering. For the past almost decade now, everyone knows Keanu Reeves as John Wick instead of Neo, right? So him coming from such a great action franchise with great action scenes, balls to the wall action, maybe he could have gave some input. I'm like, hey guys, do you want to turn this up? Because we are the Matrix here. And there was nothing new. They didn't even really do a bullet time for this one. Like they mentioned it like during like the whole wink bullet time stuff. They didn't even
even the fight scene with AI Morpheus. Which by the way felt totally forced, was uninspired and kind of bored. There's multiple things. Yeah, you're right. The action was really subpar. The fight scene where Morpheus actually kind of rescues him from the building, right? When the SWAT team members come in and he's just kind of floating through the air. And I'm like, this doesn't even seem like realistic. Like at least in the first movie, like they would do these crazy stunts, but it would seem kind of I don't know if realistic is the right word, but semi plausible in order to like dodge bullets or get out of the situation. There's that scene where Morpheus is like flying like through the air upside down, shooting the SWAT team guys that are coming through the door. It just seemed ridiculous. It didn't even seem like plausible in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give the special effects just a little bump over the Reloaded and Revolutions. Just because some scenes from Reloaded and Revolutions look like a bad PlayStation game, some of the special effects, and this one's just a bit better. But we were talking about this before we came on. The age makeup on Niobe.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
took me away. It not in a good way,
it
took me away from the movie. It was so bad.
She couldn't move her face. She couldn't act.
This is Io. We got strawberries now. What?
Oh man, that actually brings me to another point, but I'm gonna save that for directing. But yes, that makeup was horrible, and I hate to say it too. It was very awkward, and this doesn't really. Maybe this is more in the acting, but Keanu and Carrie Ann Moss, like, looking kind of old, man. Like, it was kind of sad almost a little bit, like how old Keanu was looking.
Well, technically, I mean, it's been like, I think the last Revolutions was 18 years ago. Someone want to correct me on that?
No, I mean, he's looking his age, just put that way. But I'm just saying, in a movie where he's, is playing an action star, or should be, he looked very tired, and just also just kind of uninspired by it all. But one thing I had in my notes is just like, what's weird about this movie is it looks like, you can tell it's shot in high resolution. It's very crisp, heavily color graded, but it's lost something, right? Like the first Matrix had like that neo-noir vibe.
Yes.
It was very dark. They used a lot of sets. Gritty. Yeah, they used a lot of sets, a lot of like very heavy with the color grading, right? With the greens and the blues. So you can kind of tell each place, but all that added to it, like to a very strong feeling. And in this one, it had much more of a cyberpunk feel. It was very colorful, very video game-esque, if you will. The train scene, you could tell it was shot all on green screen. And I don't know, I think it hurt it, honestly. I don't think it didn't have the same mysterious feeling that you had in the first movie, where you're like, what is this world? They did feel like they were trapped in this kind of, simulation cell, if you will. So yeah, I don't know. I was disappointed. I give it a 14 as well for production. And yeah, I don't know. It's for, like you said, for a movie that was groundbreaking when it came out at the time, it just felt really uninspired. And specifically with the action, everything else, yes, I probably could look past, but this movie's known for the action sequences.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't really turn up until the end in that chase scene. But even then, it wasn't really that interesting. It just felt like you were playing a video game shooting NPCs or zombies.
Zombies, yeah. Instead of agents, this time it's dumb as shit zombies. Oh no, they're bombs. No, they're not. They're just leaping from the buildings and splattering on the floor.
Yeah, it felt like World War Z or something. Like, it was just kind of ridiculous. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the into the performances themselves. What did you think about Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Anderson. That was who I was missing from this one. The first Agent Smith was
way better.
Way better. Although I do like Jonathan Groff. I liked him in Mindhunters in Netflix. A great show. Go watch it. But the acting gave 15 out of 30. Everyone just kind of phoned it in. Keanu Reeves phoned it in. Carrie Moss. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but also phoned in. It's pretty much, I wrote it. It's pretty much, it looks like cosplay. Like people were cosplaying The Matrix, like trying to be the first movie, like kind of like just like regular folks playing along as Neo. It didn't seem like, it wasn't acting to me.
No, I mean, to me, I even put in my notes, I was like, it even felt like a little hacky at times. Like with the newer actors, when they would say their lines, like it almost felt like you said, like they were playing a satire of what they thought The Matrix would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even down to the operator, you know what I mean? Like having to look like the other guys. And then, everything was just so like I said, instead of giving something new, everything was just a nod to the past. The ship, instead of being Nebuchadnezzar, it's the Nemesis. You know what I mean? Bugs is the new Morpheus, I guess you could say.
Morpheus, there's a new Morpheus.
But there's a new Morpheus too, which, why do we need that? Just let the man rest in peace. Or maybe he was wise, or maybe he was wise enough to read the script and was like, nah, you guys are
He's
good.
like,
go ahead without me.
No, I'll stick with John Wick.
Yeah, exactly.
But you hit a good point. It seemed like this whole movie, the acting, the plot, it just seemed like a satire of the first Matrix. Like SNL did The Matrix right now. And it's awful.
What'd you think about Neil Patrick Harris as the villain?
The new architect, the analyst. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't really a big fan of him already. And they just kind of threw him in. I mean, he had definitely better than the architect, who just spit out like lines of dialogue just to like in the.
I kind of like that, because I thought in my mind, I'm like, he is an AI. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so he's going to be cold and analytical. I mean, that was kind of the idea, right? They're like breeding humans to farm them, you know what I mean? Or for energy. So I kind of like that. One thing I put is like, I felt like the more that they would try to like humanize or anthropomorphize the AIs or the sentience, the less interesting it gets, because then they're just like other human characters, right? They're just avatars. Like if it was if it's like something robotic or something like alien, then it feels like you actually have like a really like good enemy, to fight against. You can kind of unite against that. But if there's like good AI, bad AI, you know what I mean? Or I'm guessing there's probably good humans, bad humans, whatever. You even got the Merovingian running around in there. Like, I don't know. Then it just feels like just whatever, like every other movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, man. There was no memorable characters like the new people, like Bugs as in Bunny. But they could have just put in anybody in there.
She even got the tattoo, bro. She just wanted to make sure she just wanted to make sure you were clear.
Like this movie was supposed to be about Neo and Trinity. If they just kind of just went with them trying to find each other again, it would have been better. Hell, if they cut out the first hour of this movie, my score would be entirely different. But they didn't.
That for me, but all right. Well, in terms of acting, I'm gonna give it a 19. But now you're making me feel like I was too nice on them after this one. And the more I talk about it, I could even go even harder. But whatever. I'll save my score.
Santa Steve, give him presents.
Let's get into directing. I mean, there's already kind of a common theme here. What'd you give it in terms of directing?
I gave it a 12.
Oh man, 12.
Woo! Woo! Let's go.
It's a kick right to the crotch right there.
Hey. 12 out of 30. This
wow. All right.
Pacing was awful. First hour.
There was no tension at all.
No. The first hour was a wash. The first hour was pretty much Lana Wachowski saying, I didn't want to make this movie. The studio wanted me to make this movie just so they could have another Matrix. So I'm just going to put the biggest piece of shit out there. So just to show them a lesson. This should teach them a lesson that I didn't want to make this. This wasn't necessary. So guess what? I'm just going to poop one out. And guess what? You got it. You got it. All right. So, and like, it was so meta. Like the first hour, there's like, wink, wink. I didn't want to make this. Like, this wasn't necessary. So there you go. Here's some crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's for everything. I give it a 19 again. I kind of replicated the score for the acting. Everything I kind of already covered, to be honest with you. I felt like the story itself was just lazy. It didn't expand the universe at all. One thing I have in my notes is, what exactly is winning now in this universe? Like, what exactly do the people want?
Okay, strawberries.
You want to break out? Exactly. You want to break out of the Matrix to what? To go live underground and grow strawberries? Like, what does winning look like? And then even the same thing for the AIs. Like, what? So is your only goal now at this point is to just to run and maintain the Matrix? I mean, because you're telling me like this far in the future, we still haven't figured out how to get other forms of energy. You know what I mean? Like the robots haven't gone off planet or done other crazy stuff to like get energy. Like the best way of energy is to grow humans in little, test tubes or whatever. Yep. I don't know. It's just like I said, I felt like, what's the motivations of any of this? This is just other than, okay, Neo wants to find his girl, basically. You know what I mean?
And then, and also it's like,
and all she wants to do is ride motorcycles. All right.
Yeah.
Because she's a strong, independent woman.
Oh God. And but speaking of which, can you please keep your pronouns right? It's not AIs or robots, it's sentients.
Oh, I'm
sorry. So please get that right.
Apologies.
All right.
Don't cancel me.
And but yeah, man, it's just awful, bro. And there's just so many holes in this movie. With a movie trilogy that has so many holes already. I was thinking like this is gonna fix everything. This is gonna fix all those holes, but no, it just put a cheese grater to it and just made even more holes.
And how awkward was that scene when they jump off the building and then she just saves him and then they're just hanging like clearly just from wires, right? It just looks so awkward, just hanging, and she's like holding him.
Are you doing this? I'm not doing this. Like, and how did she become the one? How did she become more powerful than Neo?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is it just don't cancel me? Is it just because they needed to make a woman the champion now? Is it, guys?
That's
a fair question.
No, it's a fair question. And then, yeah, I don't even know. There's a lot of things there that I could question. And then even at the end too, like, okay, so then they go and they kick the analyst's butt. What now? Like, what are you going to do now? Okay. Yeah. Like, so as far as I could tell, the Matrix itself, like the world itself, everyone was, I guess, fine. I mean, everyone was living their lives. It was just Anderson that was having a hard time because he was having flashbacks. It was so Are you going to just bust out all those people out of the Matrix and then have them grow strawberries in the ground? Like, is that the is that the plan?
Blueberries. Just wait until the blueberries.
Is that the plan? Is that Matrix 5?
Oh,
Farm
geez.
to table underground?
Because farm to table Matrix, which they come back for some pancakes and blueberries. But I don't know. Like, what are they said that we're gonna remake your world into? What exactly are you gonna remake it into?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
everyone
Like,
was
what
living
is
their
winning?
lives. Yeah, everyone was living their lives, as you were saying. The only one that was miserable was you, Neo, Mr. Anderson. All right. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go with this, nor do I want to know, nor do I care to know.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling this isn't the end of the story. You know how these production companies work. Whether it's from the Wachowskis or from someone else who eventually gets their hands on this, there'll probably be more. But I don't know. I think with so many of these stories that we really like and really enjoy, sometimes you got to know. Sometimes you got to know when to fold them, babe.
I was just about to say that.
Sometimes you got to know. Not every story needs to be wrung out for 6 chapters. Not everything's a Rocky. All right.
hey, watch your mouth. I'll watch 10 Rockies over one.
I'm just saying, Rocky, he's the outlier. Like not most of these stories we really like them. It's like, yeah, give us more, and then they keep popping them out, and it just gets progressively worse and worse and worse. And so I don't know. It's just, to me, I'm just like, I want to go back to that young kid who's in high school for the first time watching The Matrix, and then afterwards going to get lappies. All right.
Yeah, me too. And afterwards, just going to the strip club for the first time.
Having those fond memories.
It was great. It was a great day. But I don't know. This world and like the basic concepts of it was so rich. If maybe you gave it to someone other than the Wachowskis, maybe they could do something out of this. Because honestly, guys, besides the first Matrix, what have they really done that's been good?
No, like, yeah, one thing I was saying, I was actually speaking about Rich from earlier too. I was like, I wish they would have brought on like a legit science fiction writer, because there were so many cool ideas with AI and the metaverse and all this cool stuff. There's so many areas that they could have explored. Instead, they went backwards. And you're just like, wow, this is what we're doing. Like, we waited like 30 years for this, like, or, whatever, 25 years, whatever for this. Like, it was just a missed opportunity to me. And I don't know.
It just, time has passed the Wachowskis up. Like, what were the last movies?
They
like
did, what's that? Jupiter
Ascending, Cloud Atlas. Two. All right. I didn't even watch it, and I knew it sucked. All right. But dude, like, so like you said, if they gave it to a legit writer, they could make something out of this. Yeah. Totally. Matrix Resurrection. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely, if they're going to try to proceed with this, I hope that they bring in some new blood, because it's ready. It's ripe for it. But we'll see. I haven't watched any reviews or looked at any feedback on this movie. So we'll have to wait and see what people come back with on, to see if we're the only ones that feel this way. Maybe that'll be a wake up call to the movie companies. But let's go ahead and wrap this up. X Factor, what'd you end up giving it?
I gave it a 0.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man, you're making me feel like 0. You're making me feel like Santa Claus right now. I gave it a 2. I gave it a 2. Ho, ho, ho. All right.
I gave it a 0. Like, honestly, this answered the question of was another sequel necessary after the first trilogy, and the answer is an astounding no.
Yeah.
Let me
ask you this: is this the worst of the 4? Because I'm gonna say it is.
It is. Like, here's the thing. Like, this wasn't necessary after the first trilogy. And I'll go even further. You didn't even need Reloaded and Revolutions. You should have ended it at the first Matrix. That was it had some unanswered questions.
Way that movie ends, the first Matrix, is perfect. Just literally just stop right there. Yeah. And that would have just been a great place to leave it. And it leaves you wanting more, but that's good too sometimes. You know what I mean? I didn't hate Reloaded. It had some cheesy parts, but it had some cool parts too. I like the chase scenes in it. Thought they were pretty cool. By the time you get to Revolutions, though, it's pretty bad. But yeah, of the 4, I don't know. I think this is the worst one. So you're going in the wrong direction.
Because it didn't even feel like a Matrix movie. Like I said, the feeling, the look didn't. That just distracted me a hell of a lot. It was like just too. Like I said, it's weird that I see something that has better resolution, better CG, but somehow looks and feels worse.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
you know,
it just didn't feel, honestly, like, it's just sum up my feeling on this movie. It just made me sad, and not because it was a tear jerk or anything. It just made me sad because it was so awful, and it was literally just a spit in the face of the first Matrix, which is honestly one of
oh
the
yeah.
best movies, like best action movies of all
Oh,
time.
I totally agree.
So it just
Yeah.
made me sad, man. It just made me sad that, like, this wasn't. I don't know if it was the studio saying like, "Hey, we're gonna make a Matrix sequel with or without you. We're just gonna give you extend this to you just because you created it. If you want to make it, I don't know what the backstory is on that, but if you didn't want to make it, just step down and let someone else do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the story, the backstory of how they got this, and if he or if she had been working on this for however long, or I really don't know the story of it, so I can't say. All I know is what I saw, and it wasn't very good, and it kind of just reaffirmed kind of what I was feeling towards the end of that trilogy. So I don't know. All right, so let's talk. Let's wrap this up. We're going kind of long already. Overall score, I ended up giving a 58. What was your score? Dare I ask?
44. So
44.
you were in a very giving Christmas spirit watching this movie.
I guess so, man. I guess so, man. All right, well, we gotta kick it to the viewers, bro. So everyone at home, let us know what you guys think. How do you feel? Where does this fit with you guys in terms of the Matrix movies? Was there any parts that you liked? Are we being too hard on it? Is there anything that we missed? Or do you agree with us? Was this just kind of just a misstep all the way around? And does this need fresh hands? Maybe a fresh director, or should they just let it rest in peace? Maybe the resurrection is enough. Yeah, I don't know. So kick it back to you guys. Dead. Yeah, exactly. Leave your comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button before you leave here. And I don't know, any closing comments out before we wrap this up?
No, man. Let's just hope this is it, man. That it stays dead and buried after this. I don't hear anyone clamoring for a resurrection sequel.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, everybody at home, from the Nightcap.
Happy New Year. Be safe.